Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops, salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen, that look like those heathen. All right, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is Matthew 24:6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." And those sorrows are upon the earth, they are upon the world that we live in, that our power made. This won't be a long video. I gotta try to beat this rain and then make it back to the studio so I could teach this afternoon or this evening adults classes. And it's crazy weather. It was like 90 plus degrees yesterday, and right now it's about 60 something, it's about 68, a lot cooler. It's not normal. Those aren't normal weather patterns, all a part of the sign of the times. But I want to get this video and just play a portion of it. First couple minutes of it, bring out a few scriptures, and then play something toward the end, bring out a few more scriptures and wrap it up. But this is secular talk. All right. See if I can put it in the camera so that you can see. All right. This is a glare. So you might want to go and watch this video. I suggest that you do. It's called Breaking. Iran threatens war. Israel bombs 2 schools. Bibi's cabinet basically revolts. So they're revolting against him. And also you'll find that people are leaving the land of Israel because of the fear of the threat of war, proving yet again in prophecy that there's no way on God's green earth that these could be the people of the Lord. All right, because when Israel goes back home, according to the Holy Gospel, there will be peace on earth, no more wars, no more weapons. And these people are far, far from that. So without any further ado.
All right, y'all, welcome to the show. I am jam-packed today, so there's a couple things that are happening that are big news that we're not going to get to today. We'll probably get to them a little bit later on in the week, namely because these are huge events and it requires a shitload of reading and researching in order to give an informed opinion on it. But we have the Bangladeshi government has just been overthrown. We have the stock market is plunging pretty fast. I believe it started in Japan and South Korea, and now the U.S. is tumbling as well. Again, it requires a hell of a lot more research and reading to give firm, solid opinions on this. But of course, the speculation at this point is this has to do something with crypto. Potentially interest rates are involved, or where interest rates will go are involved. Of course, the potential for war in the Middle East could also be spooking the markets. So again, there's a lot going on today, but we have Iran is threatening war. This is the most serious it's looked in a very long time. It's probably going to be a bigger response than the previous one. So we'll talk about that. Israel, in the midst of sparking this wider regional war, also decided to bomb 2 schools with more than 30 children in it. And Bibi's cabinet, according to some reports, is actually revolting. Even those right-wing freaks are going, you know what? I think you're a little bit too far right and a little too extreme. Then we'll get to Trump is now repeatedly losing it because of the polls coming out with Kamala Harris ahead. J.D. Vance was told to...
That is enough to let you know that it is controlled. There is no way that Kamala Harris could beat Donald Trump without the media finagling numbers and things of that manner. All right, there's no way. She was like damn near silenced the entire presidency of Biden, and all of a sudden this woman is beating Donald Trump. They haven't even debated yet. So, this is But let's go to the scriptures, man. Because it seems that Bibi Milkowski, also known as Netanyahu, he doesn't want peace. Especially when him bombing and assassinating the people who are actually lobbying for peace. Some of the people he assassinated were people who are actually trying to seek peace, to stop, the fighting between Hamas and Israel. But you're talking about a man who's a wanted war criminal by his own people. You see his people, his cabinet, people are revolting against him. So he needs this war to stay relevant and to keep him out of prison, so it seems. All right? And he has success. Two things he's done. And I keep talking about those two things. Number one, he has brought together the whole Muslim world, which no one has been able to do, but through all this genocide and murder, he was actually able to do that. And then secondly, he's dragging the NATO and the EU nations into this third world war, the least of the flock. So let's grab that. That's Jeremiah 49 or 50, or maybe both. Jeremiah 49. Let's go to 50. Salakia. You know what? I'm going to start right here. This is Jeremiah 49 and 10. And it reads, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." Jumping up to verse 16. "Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from hence, saith Yahweh. Also Edom shall be a desolation, everyone that go by it shall be astonished, and all shall hiss at the plagues thereof." Jumping to verse 20. "Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose that he purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." All right, and it's the people are leaving, and there is no way that the Israelis could survive a regional war in Western Asia. All right, especially with Turkey, with Togama joining on to Gog and Magog. All right, yeah, I remember Turkey, the Aragon threatened to invade Israel for what they're doing. Remember, Turkey is they're Amalekites too, but Turkey they when the Khazarian Empire split, all right, when Kagan Bullen chose Judaism as their national religion to clean up their people, a huge portion of them joined onto Islam. All right, and the Turks are that portion of the Amalekites that went with Islam. So so the Turkish and the Israelis are literally bloodline same people. All right, but the Turkish are going to defend and join with their Muslim brotherhood, so to speak. And Bibi Milkowski, also known as Netanyahu, just and I mentioned this yesterday in a lesson, I'm sure, but he ran to NATO, crying to them to kick Turkey out of NATO. All right, and it's never gonna and none of this is gonna help them because they're going to be annihilated. All right, because they could barely deal with Hamas. There's no way they could deal with Hezbollah or the Houthis, and now they're going to have to deal with the Iranians. You know, yeah, the Iranians and Hezbollah is way more powerful than anything that they fought in recent times, and they will not be able to deal with them. All right, verse 21, Jeremiah 49 and 21. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, this is how you know it's talking about that region and those people. It's all about to go down. All right, and the fall of all the currencies around the world, as you heard, it's all directly connected to the dying of the dollar. You know, and you best believe that its situation over in Bangladesh is directly connected to America. All right, no, without beyond a shadow of a doubt. All right, that happened over there because Japan and other places in the East, all the stock markets were crashing around the world. Why? Because they're connected to the petrodollar. All right, so basically, you know, America is bringing everyone down with them, and the Israelis are drawing the whole world into this war, this conflict now. All right. So let's go to back to the video, and let's go toward the end of it, and we'll let it play from about here.
There was an Israeli journalist who was on.
Here we go.
And we're supposed to sit there and smile. At this point, any other country, you know, the U.S., if it was one of our allies, look, they have a right to defend themselves, right? That's what they would say. If Iran was any other country, if Iran was a U.S. ally and the same set of facts were there, the U.S. would say, look, they have a right to defend themselves. They've been attacked. Their territorial sovereignty. By the way, there's some in Israel who are now taking credit for, remember when the helicopter crashed of Raisi, the former president of Iran, and everybody thought it was probably an accident? There are some Israeli officials, I believe he was a journalist to be fair, so this isn't like confirmed at the government level, but there was an Israeli journalist who was on Twitter basically saying, who do you think took down that helicopter, bitch? And again, you're gonna whine and cry and yelp and moan if there's a response from this country that you've been the aggressor towards? Unbelievable, man. So, look, that is one of the theories as to why the market is currently tanking, right? Is that because Lockheed Market stock went straight up and a lot of other stocks are going straight down, which could be an indication that we know something's cooking. We know something bad is going to happen. There's also reporting that Shin Bet, one of the Israeli intelligence agencies, they have brought a lot of Israel's government leaders into a secure bunker.
Wow.
In other words, they are waiting for an attack. Now, I will say, I've also seen other reporting that indicated that no, it's a bunch of bark and no bite, but ultimately they're going to try some sort of special forces response. I've heard that. But there's no way of knowing, right? In terms of what public message is being sent out by Iran, it is, it's as extreme as it gets, right? I mean, they're on state TV, they're now airing, video of when they were previously in the Iran or Iraq war, and they're, it's like a real buildup, a real fervor, letting everybody know, oh yeah, we're going to retaliate, we're going to respond. So is that more of a bluff or is that real? We don't know. But I venture to say at the very least, they're going to attempt something. Might be some special forces shit and the world would be lucky if that's the case, or it might be an all-out attack on Israel. So, and there's a lot of people fleeing Israel, of course, because it looks like war is imminent. So all of this was avoidable. All of this was avoidable. None of this had to happen if the U.S. would have just reined in Netanyahu and got his ass in line. But no, Netanyahu wants war with Hezbollah and Iran, and by the way, he wants the U.S. to fight it for him. And it's very possible he may get his wish, which would be an absolute disaster beyond imagination. Because if you thought the Iraq war was something, Iran is far, far more powerful than Saddam Hussein's Iraq ever was. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
Yeah,
It
so
helps out big time in the
and you have to understand that he didn't have free will. They couldn't just rein him in. He is the instrument that is used to bring forth this destruction, and it's too late. The lines have already been crossed, and they're past the point of no return. There's no backing out. The nations have already been drawn in, because Iran is definitely going to retaliate, and America has already sent over its Marines. And you've heard me say in the past, when the Army deploys, it's something to raise your eyebrow up, but when they start deploying Marines, the shit has literally hit the fan. They don't deploy. As you remember, when you go back to the Iraq War, they didn't really start fighting until the Marines deployed. That's when the attacks happened. All right. So, this thing, there is no turning back, and it's all over the controversy of Zion. All right, over these people fraudulently claiming to be the people of the Lord, and they're not. So let's grab that. I think there's Isaiah 34:8. And 8. Yep. I must read verse 2. It says, Isaiah 34:2, for the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. And this is that event that's going to bring this prophecy that I'm reading to pass. This prophecy is at hand. You have to understand, this prophecy is at hand. All right. Jumping up to verse 8. For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. What's the controversy of Zion? Is who are the biblical Israelites. All right. And so you're going to find out the hard way that the Hebrew Israelites that have been on the highways and byways in America and around the world, especially them of the great millstone, have been telling you the complete and total truth. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakaha Kodash Kwam Yasharala Abad Babal.